Well, the simple answer is yes, I will oppose it. Let's face it, we all are here because we all care. There's a bunch of folks out there that will not be here. They'll never be here, but they'll certainly give us their opinions and write all their little posts and everything. But we care and we see what's going on around here. And I don't know about you folks, but I know that in the last years, there's been no reason for tax increases. We see the spending, right? There's an equation, it's a math equation. It's facts and figures, not feelings and emotions. So if we look at the facts and the figures, and we see the spending, and that's what our taxes are covering, then we see the spending that's what's causing the taxes to go up, or causing taxes in general. So the simple answer to your question is yes. And asking the questions of why. Not only just saying no, but giving the answers of why I say no, and also asking why you would feel that that would be needed when there's all these other things that we can budget better and do more things with. Thank you.
Up next is candidate Ed Larson. I should have announced you guys before I started. Nobody yelled at me for that. But from District 1, we have Rich Lewandowski. District 4, Ed Larson. District 3, Tom Wilson, and Dan Schneckenberger.
Same question.
Same question.
Yes, I would be opposed to any new tax increases. Any new tax increases or budget expenditures that didn't offer some reduction. We have a spending problem. We have a priority problem. If this year it's parks and field houses and turf fields. When those things are done, what will be the next priority for the county to spend money on? So the short answer is I'd be opposed to any budgets that did not offer reductions to help pay for any increase in the land items.
Mr. Schneckenberger.
Thank you, Bob. And also, Rich is actually District 2, not District 1, running.
Yeah, I got District 2 down there. I can't see. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Short answer is, from a tax perspective, I would certainly want to agree that we do not need any more property tax or income tax increases. Last year's budget was, frankly, a nightmare from a standpoint of coming out from a county executive who claimed he was conservative and came out and put a budget in front of us that was virtually near impossible to cut and get back to where a regular tax rate was. As far as fees or anything else, I think we have a different argument when we look at who's using things such as landfills or wastewater or water or anything else. These systems have to be able to be paid by the users. There is a fairer way to make sure users are not overly charged for things that potentially could be viewed as infrastructure improvements or what have you, and there's a lot of ways to take a look at it. But the main principle about keeping the tax line down where it is, I think I'm perfectly comfortable with that, and certainly this year's budget has no property tax increase. I also will tell you that the county has done very good in economic development over the last 2 years, and we've created almost $30 million of new tax base. That's what the county should be looking at to feed any kind of new spending initiatives or anything that is viewed as growth in this county. And frankly, it could have been done last year to bridge ourselves to get to that larger tax base, but it was not, and those are things that I will pay attention to when reelected to a second term.
Mr. Wilson, thank you.
Yes, I would oppose any future. It's a real simple question all of us can understand here is basically how efficient do you think government is? Would we all agree that government runs as efficiently as possible? Well, I don't think many would agree with that. There are areas that we can actually do better at. One of the things that I do as far as my job goes is I look for areas to be able to be more efficient and find better ways of doing things. We do need to grow our business base, but that needs to be done in a smart way to be able to encourage businesses to grow and actually grow, in a better way here. So yeah, I would oppose any type of an increase. Priorities and spending is important, like Ed said. You know, I mean, we've got to get our priorities right and what we were spending on and what we were doing with that money. One of the things that I really want to kind of bring to the table here is that the citizens of this county need a voice at budget time. You know, I sit back and I watch as the budget's debated and things are going along, and it's like, you know, I just want to stand up and say, you know, who fights for me? Who basically says that I can't take any more out of my pocket? You know, no matter what government wants to do, no matter what project seems to be the good project or the pet project, who stands up and says the taxpayer doesn't want to do any, doesn't want to pay anymore? You know, we as families and we as citizens of this county, we operate within a certain budget. We have things that we have to be mindful of. And every time government decides to spend or to do something, you get handed a bill. Who's the one that says enough? Who's the one that says no? You know, and we need to be able to start doing that. I don't intend to get elected and work for the county. If I want to get elected so that I can work for you, so that I can be your voice to say, you know, we really don't want to do this anymore. We want to be better as far as our spending goes and the priorities go. We need to be able to have smart growth.